5-29. Write an equation or rule for each of the XY tables below, so this one and this one. Then on one set of axes, use each rule to graph. Okay, so the first thing we need is the rule that we create from these tables. So I'm going to do one at a time. So let's grab this and swing this up. Okay, so the first thing we notice about this table is that the x values are not in order. So it's going to be a little difficult to find what the change in y is if we can't look at these as increments of 1 in x. But I kind of notice here, as I'm looking at the values, that we do have an 8 and a 9, and those are in order. So I'm going to rewrite the table to make it a little easier for me. I'm going to put the 8 value at the top, just as it is there, but now I'm going to put the 9 and the 26 right here. And so I know the change here, x is increasing by 1, and as x increases by 1, y increases by +3. So that may be our change, but let's check a little. Okay, so these other numbers that are in the table are smaller than 8 and 9. And so if when x increases in value, then y also increases in value. But if we go to a smaller value of x, then y must decrease each time by that same amount. So let's see if that works out. So let's see. So if we go from 8 to 2, we're going 6 times. And so that should be -3 6 times. So 3 times 6 is 18. And if we subtract 18 from 23, do we get 5? And yes, we do. So that matches up. So we know that, that our +3 number is correct. Okay, so we can start writing the rule because we know that the change goes right here. So that will be 3x, but we still don't know what our b is. And so in order to find b, we need to find out what figure 0 is. So we need to know what figure 0, what the y value is for figure 0. Okay, so we know that it increases each time when x goes up, but it decreases by 3 every time you go down. So if we go from 2 to 1, then this should decrease from 5 to 2. And we know if we go from 1 to 0, this should also decrease by 3 again. And so we'd get -1. So now we know what figure 0 is, and we can write that into our equation. So here's our rule for A. Our rule for A is y equals 3x minus 1. Okay,